Rudy Giuliani just joined Trump's legal defense team in the past couple of days, basically, and he's already making breakthroughs in the case for the other side. He was on Sean Hannity's show last night, and when he was asked about the payments that Michael Cohen, Trump's lawyer, had made to Stormy Daniels, one of the porn stars that Trump had an affair with, he revealed something new. Let's take a look.
Having something to do with paying some Stormy Daniels woman $130,000, I mean, which is going to turn out to be perfectly legal. That money was not campaign money. Sorry, I'm giving you a fact now that you don't know. It's not campaign money. No campaign finance violation. So
they funneled it through the law firm.
Funneled through the law firm, and the president repaid it.
Oh, I didn't know he did.
Yep.
There's no campaign finance law.
Zero.
That is great. I mean, everything that Rudy Giuliani said is awesome, but I love Sean Hannity's. Oh, I didn't know that. You just revealed way too much.
Please just read the cards,
yes,
Rudy.
Exactly. You're not
Don't
here
go
to
off
give
script.
us new info. So the reason that is significant is because, of course, up until this point, everyone involved in this story has denied that Trump knew anything about this or that he had repaid Michael Cohen, which I found very plausible because he doesn't pay people. Michael Cohen had said he'd never been reimbursed. Trump said he had no knowledge of this whatsoever. Sarah Huckabee Sanders had said there's no knowledge. And then suddenly, casually, Rudy Giuliani, the new guy, the newbie, comes out and says, no, he was repaid. He was repaid.
And also, so this was part of a string of a whole bunch of interviews he was doing. He started with Sean Hannity. It was actually the majority of this, and it was by 30 minutes straight of them talking, was about Comey, well, mostly Mueller, and the investigation, how he's gonna make sure he counsels the president not to speak, or whether or not they will speak with Mueller under certain conditions. What about what the Clintons went through?
Yeah.
What about what, we don't make sure this isn't a perjury trap. Again, we'll get into why that doesn't make any sense. How concerned about your president lying about what he did. But that's the concern, not that he might lie, but that they might set him up to lie.
Yeah.
It's real easy. If he's not gonna lie, then answer the questions truthfully. I thought that's what we do in America.
Yeah, Giuliani had, it seemed, a couple of agendas, right? One was to dirty up the investigation, which he did. And as you say, he was kind of on a media tour to do just that, right? To run down the special counsel and to essentially buttress the idea that the investigation is a witch hunt and it's so far off course that it's become tainted by a lot of government involvement and government overreach, is the way he might put it, in perhaps not those words, but suggesting that this entire thing has now taken on a political tone. While, of course, what he's doing is a purely political exercise.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to clear Trump from the idea that there is collusion. And that's why he was trying, and campaign problems, and that's why he was getting into that soundbite that we just heard, right? But it leaves open the door for obstruction of justice.
Yeah, he thought that he simply had to lay out that it wasn't campaign funding and that we wrapped the whole thing up. He paid him back, not realizing that each part of that also opened up Trump to more legal jeopardy. Now, I realize that many of you watching this are not shocked to find out that Donald Trump is lying about something, even lying about potential law breaking. But for those who are maybe new to this, haven't been paying attention for the past year, I want to make it very clear. Let's play this next video where you're going to see Donald Trump totally denying any knowledge of this sort of thing.
Did you know about the $130,000 payment to Stormy Daniels? Then why did Michael Cohen make it if there was no truth or allegation?
Well, you have to ask Michael Cohen. Michael's my attorney, and you'll have to ask Michael.
Do you know where he got the money to make that payment?
No, I don't know.
So he didn't know anything about it, even though apparently by the time he was asked that question, he had already paid for it and paid more, paid for the taxes on it and all of that. You mentioned that Rudy Giuliani was on a media tour. Part of that was an interview at the Washington Post where he was asked by Robert Costa, when was the president told about these payments? And Giuliani said he wasn't, since it was somewhere between 10 and 5 days before the election, and he wasn't told. But even if he was told, he wouldn't have remembered it. So that's an airtight case they got there. Like I wouldn't have remembered it. Also, I don't remember it. Also, where am I? He was paid out of personal funds, which covered that, and possibly a few other things that would be considered incidental. I would love to find out what those other things are. And then they tried to craft this thing where they had a retainer that he was being paid out of, but that's not what retainers for lawyers are. I feel like these guys have only like heard about retainers on TV shows or something. It's not for repayment of totally non-legal, non-campaign personal expenses. It doesn't make any sense.
So these kinds of things, the lie, of course, has to evolve, but in this case, devolve, because of once you say the first line and people go, hey, well, that doesn't really make much sense there, Rudolph. That's not how this may work, because that's a problem. You may have cleared the one aspect, and we'll get to what some ethics, former ethics heads have said about what this did lead to. Now you have to change your story to the next step. So now, oh man, my bad, that's right. He knew about paying something back, just not about exactly what it is. So I can keep my veil over, he didn't know what was going on. Then there was some non-disclosure agreement, which we still haven't talked about yet, how if or why he did or did not sign it. Now that is all up in the air. It's, as you mentioned, John mentioned it right before we came on, there's now this cloud of a dusty lie. And now you have to try and decipher, as you look through all the cloud, what part of it is true, what part of it is not, what part of it are half lies, what part are half truths. But after you come, whatever you come up with, they then go, well, not that part, just the 25% of that part, and then the other 35% of this part is what's true. So now we're just confused.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.